Hey everyone, Peter here, 630. Let's talk about your fenders and how to adjust them properly. Okay, so maybe your fender is off center a little bit. There could be a whole host of reasons for that, but most of them are very, very simple to address almost without tools or without getting new parts or anything like that. I'll show you how. Back when I was younger, I actually built thousands of bicycles, and usually the fender would come in not centered properly, but I don't really recall replacing a fender almost ever because of that sort of situation. I could just adjust it with my hands, sometimes with a tool, and get it adjusted properly. Sometimes the trickiest is if you have a 7-speed, you have to get to where it clears the brakes for the V brakes. But come on up here, Nate, and I'll show you about how the fenders are. So one of the most important things to remember about the fenders is that they are not mounted positively and precisely like a lot of other things are. So if you look here, like with the, we have an e-bike here. Over here is the disc brake. We've got the rotor and the caliper. And then there's a mount right here. It's part of the frame. It's integrated into the dropout part of the frame. It's important that this is all extremely precise. The rotor, the mount, getting that adjusted properly, okay? You're gonna have to use tools. It's not difficult, we have a video for that, but you do wanna get it right. There's a very little clearance, but all these things, where this is mounted, how the frame geometry relates to the wheel, how that's been engineered, it's all very precise. Fenders are not, they're not. They're just held on by this little thin bracket right here, okay? It's just not a precision piece of equipment. And as you can also see, they can be moved around, all right? Sometimes these pieces of metal, if you're riding and it gets leaned, it could get bent or whatever. Or sometimes when you're assembling, maybe you kind of tighten this one with the fender strut a little bit more forward and that one's a little more backward. All that's fine. We'll just fix it, okay? So let's say that we're off center here. Nate, this one already looks off center, right? Yeah, so if that bothers you, obviously that's not a functional problem because the wheel spins just fine. It's not rubbing. If it's rubbing, that's gonna be annoying or maybe even cause a problem. But here, let's just straighten it. You can, it's very simple, and it's just because it's these brackets like this, and it's not that precise connection like you have with the disc brake, for instance. You can just pull it over like this, get it centered to where you like it. If that doesn't quite do it, you can hit it, palm your hand like this. You can also make adjustments at the connection, but I usually think that it's just easier just to kind of move it over a little bit like this. There's some malleability with fenders. It's just not a big deal to do that. You're not gonna hurt anything, and it's really how most fenders are. Like I said, when I was younger and was building thousands of bikes, and when I encountered fenders, it was pretty much just par for the course that I would look at the fender, see if it was centered or not. I just give it a little knock like this. Doesn't hurt anything. Let's look at the front one. So you're riding your bike and then you look over the top. Here, Nate, let's look over the top and see what the rider would see. Okay, so maybe this annoys you. The fender's off center. Again, it's not causing any problems. It's not rubbing. But here, can you look over the top again? I'm just gonna show you what happens here. So obviously it's diving off to the right. It doesn't look so great. There's several ways to do this. You can adjust the hardware, the little screw. That's a Phillips and a 10mm nut back there. Or you can just kind of pull it over like that. I mean, it's really not a big deal. So you don't need to get freaked out about it or worry about too much. Just, you can just do it with your hands most of the time. Obviously you don't want to hurt the fender, but you're really not going to. If you need further adjustment, there's a slot, excuse me, going through puberty here. There's a little long slot here. You can loosen the hardware and then you can adjust the fender up and down a little bit if you want. There's not a whole lot of adjustment here, but there is a little bit back and forth. But mostly I would just do it with my hand. I would just move it over this way or that way with my hand. Whereas this one, not quite centered, so just kind of pop it that way. I mean, that's all it is. Fenders aren't precision equipment, like I said, like the disc brake is. I hope that helps. If you do have any questions or you need a new fender for your bike, just give us a call. We'll help walk you through it or figure out a way. If something's bothering you, just give us a call. I truly hope that was helpful for you. If you liked it, please do like it and hit subscribe. It helps grow our channel. And if you need any help at all, please contact us. You can call us at 310-982-2877 or email us at theteam@sixthreezero.com. Remember, 630 is spelled out SIXTHREEZERO. Theteam@sixthreezero.com. Thanks.